Good day, Internet. I am Roderick Leakey. I am the game designer on Noko's Noodles here. I've been working on this game for about a year now, and this is the first devlog. I'm showing a build about 2 months old, so I'm going to just kind of vamp and talk about what we learned in this version of the playtest and what we're changing going forward, and just showing off the game, the first 10 minutes of gameplay here. So right now you're seeing the intro. No music in this build. We just worked with our composer and got some amazing music. I'm super excited to share it with all of the music in and sounds, but for now you'll just have to deal with the sound of my voice. Anyway, that intro, of course, you had my amateur sketches, amateur programming sketches. We have somebody working on different intro imagery right now too, but we're excited to get more and more content in here. That messaging system, we actually are going to take that out. It doesn't make sense anymore, and turn it into a little bulletin. Here's a little Psycorp robot that you can buy ingredients from. Of course, you start out with no money, but you can see he gave you a little fish offal. Spoils of war are sweet. We had this storage system, but it was kind of confusing players. We might add it back in on day 4 or something like that when it's actually making sense, but right now it's just a little bit too much. Here's an example of soup making. We're now added a way to turn on the pot after you're done, instead of just dropping the ingredients in. Here's an example of us talking, our very first dialogue. All the dialogue that you see in this is actually changed already. There's no story spoilers here, I don't think. But next devlog might have a few story spoilers, so watch out. Here's me making a bowl of noodles for our customer. Later on, you unlock toppings. All right, in this build we had 6 different flavors. We actually got rid of the radar chart just because it wasn't making very much sense. As you can tell, what do the numbers mean? What do you mean I got 1 savory? I don't know. We also took out simplicity just because 6 was getting a little too crazy. We might end up taking out character skills later. You'll see when we execute jobs. The character skills, we have 7 character skills, which makes sense, but it just feels like a lot. This is Officer Puppy, even though he says Officer Dog, but his dialogue is so cute. Making him another bowl of noodles here. The noodle water actually changes depending on, or I'm sorry, the soup water actually changes depending on what kind of ingredients you put into it. A little bug there with the dialogue going on top of each other. Here's an example of a decision that you make. It changes the dialogue down the road. It also will unlock different jobs and things when we talk about that later. We definitely sped up how fast you get ingredients. We didn't want to over task the user immediately with a bunch of ingredients and stuff, but we did find that we just need a little bit more, especially on day 2. You really, in this build, we really didn't get enough things to make making soup interesting. Just because there wasn't enough ingredients, not enough money was made by the player. So we went back and added a little bit more money at the beginning. We added a few more ingredients that you can buy from Psycorp Robot. Here we're meeting Red Fox for the first time. learning a little bit more about Psycorp and how he works for Psycorp and how awful it is. But again, all this dialogue has changed. Again, making him another soup. This is much more fun when you actually have toppings. Oh, there's a little bug, but you can draw with your soy sauce. There you go. We've served all the customers. Got a little bit of cash in our pocket. Go ahead and end the day. This is an awkward animation that we're fixing as well. No point to have the camera follow him while he walks over. Alright, we earned 56. I guess Euro bucks? I don't know what that is. Euros? Dollary dues? Credits, really. It's Cyberpunk, right? I guess they use Euro dollars in Cyberpunk 2077. Alright, day 2. Again, this messaging got removed. Instead of like having people message Noko, like, why? Just we're going to turn it into like a Drudge Report news website on top, and then have some extra surprises going on with that. We can afford ingredients this time around, so we could buy the fish or the cabbage and the onion. I'm trying to balance it out so that players have more ingredients and less big ingredients. So, and then next builds of this, we actually don't give you enough money to buy the fish, so it kind of forces you to buy extra cabbage and onions. But the more ingredients you have, the more interesting the game actually plays. So definitely want to add more interest wherever we can. Look, our soup radar chart is a little more savory this time, a little bit of brightness. I think that's the fish has so much savory in it that it makes sense. We got Psycorp Bunny. She has some great dialogue coming up. And here we're showing our first toppings. So I'm going to add a few pieces of cabbage to this, make it look nice. Might end up, we definitely need to add a couple more toppings that you can buy by the time you get to this point. Our playtesters are having trouble figuring that out, at least our new playtesters, so it's really tough problem to solve just to get people to buy more cheap ingredients. Hey, we have the job system here, so we're going to go ahead and ask Red Fox. He's got a heist a trash can job. So look at all the trash in the background. We need to get a trash can around here. So we'll hire him up. It's his job. We got to hire somebody else to actually pick up the trash can and help us fix that up. Another soup here with the cabbage. Arranged a little artistically. Alright. We got the yak. Definitely shows up too much in this build now. And one more cabbage. Getting the yak settled. He likes the savory, so that was worth a lot of points. Decent amount of cash now. I talked to Boss Hog here. Indie industrialist, so he can help you get some better ingredients. He's going to send over Otto the next morning. I don't think he's in this devlog, but he is in the game now, and he looks amazing. Little walrus with a cart. Oh, that's right, he doesn't buy anything in this one. so now we're hitting the jobs. We have the grab the trash can. We want to assign him to the grab the trash can. Need to move that tutorial on a higher layer there. We go back to our little notebooks here. Check out our customers. There's a little more information on this one. You can see some of the portraits are not quite there yet. All right, now we're going to execute the job of heisting a trash can with our Yakuza Yak. We made this much more clear. Like, the whole percentages thing didn't really make sense to us. But that's kind of what's happening in the background. And there you go. We're going to end the day here. And that's Devlog 1. Thanks for joining us. This is a lot of fun to make. We'll be sending more devlogs soon. And we'll end up with a confusing cutscene that will make more sense in context. Thanks, guys. Later.